Welcome back to the Resistance broadcast, everybody. It is our Thursday show, and this week we're doing a Kessel Run. And if you're new to the Resistance broadcast, our Kessel Run is our segment where we do a list of 12 items that we put together on a specific topic in Star Wars, 12 being in honor of Han and the crew's parsecs on the Kessel Run in Solo. But thanks so much for joining us today. I'm John. How are you? Make sure you are subscribed to us on all your platforms so that anytime we have a new episode posting, you are ready to enter the base, and the base is open right now. With me, as always, James and Lacey. How are you guys?
Doing pretty good.
Larry
That's
David.
a show I haven't watched in a long time. Curb.
Yep. James, are you cool that I retired my bow and arrow move?
Do you know what's funny, actually? Whoa, before we get on that, I just remembered that the guy from Curb Your Enthusiasm is in the Rise of Skywalker, and we didn't talk about it on Monday.
Larry David?
No, his buddy from the Goldbergs.
I have no idea what you're talking
His
about.
buddy...
That is...
Yeah, the big guy, and he's always yelling at things.
Jeff
Oh,
Green?
Jeff. His
Yeah.
manager, his agent.
He's in... No, come on. What's the joke here? Let's get to it.
It's not the joke. He was in a scene with C-3PO, and he's talking about Anthony Daniels and how serious he takes it.
Oh, I don't know what's going on. He was in the Rise of Skywalker? What?
Yes.
Well,
All right. So
This is going
Lacey.
weird. Hey, guys, what's up? Excited
playing
to talk
Matt
about
Smith?
Star Wars.
he's playing Matt Smith.
Yeah. Lacey, you're excited to talk about Star Wars?
Yeah.
Lacey, has there ever been a time where you haven't been excited to talk about Star Wars?
Nope.
In your 27 years on this earth?
27. You're off a little there.
That's called charm, folks. That's how you do it. All right, guys. We have a segment we also call Will of the Force, and guess what? It's back, baby! James Bainey is going to take us through our topics this week. So let's fire it up right now, James.
I fear nothing, for all this, as the Force wills it.
Guess what? Last week I was reading a comic book and I saw that Chirrut Emwe totally beat the crap out of Hondo one time. Inside of on Jeddah, they have the church building, religious building thing. They were inside of that, and then him and Doc Arndor were trying to steal a priceless artifact, and Chirrut was in the way.
Did he Onaka Hondo out?
Knock what? What did you say?
Did he Onaka him out?
Knock him out. Yeah, gotcha. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker features an appearance by a Curb Your Enthusiasm cast member. Yeah. All right. Anyway, Will of the Force this week.
Will, curb your enthusiasm. No.
What is happening?
Look. I know we're on Will of the Force. I'm one of those people that's in it, and you go, "Who's that?"
Hold on. Are we post Chirrut? Chirrut is already introduced. We're officially in Will of the Force.
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, you guys aren't believing me.
Right. I
That
don't.
looks, because I think people will know that's me. I'm going to tell the tell. I don't want to do that, but I'm in it. I work with the C-3PO guy who, by the way, wears the outfit literally.
Wait a minute.
He's a very proper, very kind gentleman, but he takes it very seriously. Crazy seriously.
Dude.
He was all focused and serious.
What if he's playing Babu Frick?
Oh, that's a good point.
What if Jeff Green's the voice of Babu Frick?
See, that's a weird voice for me.
Yeah. But what if he
I hate
does a
that.
different language?
What did you say his name was? Jeff Garland?
Oh, he plays
No,
Jeff
his name
Green.
is Jeff. In
He plays
Oh,
Jeff Green
oh.
in the show, but his real name's Jeff Garland, I think. Yeah. That'd be
Yeah,
He
interesting.
has that
Green on Curb Your
annoying
Enthusiasm.
wife.
Yeah, Susie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, he says he appears. Wait, what did he say? I'm one of those people that's in it, and you go, "Who's that?" That looks, because I think people will know that it's me. I'm not going to tell the tell.
Yeah.
So maybe he is talking about a voice.
Maybe.
Anyway, Will of the Force this week, guys. All right, we got 5 questions, 2 of which are coming from Patreon members, patrons of ours.
Who all
Let's kick it off
they
with
all use
one-
their real birth certificate names, by the way. They confirmed that.
They have to. I mean, we pull straight from their like private profile.
Correct.
What?
The first question I came up with on the spot, and it's kind of weird because you'll see here in a little bit. But the first question is: will Kylo Ren's helmet stay intact throughout the Rise of Skywalker? Lacey, you're going first on this one because it has to do with Adam Driver in a weird way. I don't know.
Yes, I think. Wait, is it will he destroy it or will it stay intact?
Will it be in one whole piece?
Yes.
Presumably by the end of the movie.
Yes, it will be in one whole piece. He's already broken it once. They're not going to have him break it again. That'd be silly.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to have it he might like toss it or get rid of it, but I don't think he's going to smash it again and break it into pieces. I think it will stay intact.
Would he be wearing it and somebody like hits him, like Rey hits him and it cracks open, revealing his face or anything
Oh, a
like
little bit of Anakin Rebels style.
Like a Phasma move? No.
that?
I think
Maybe.
he's just
I'm
gonna
just
take it
saying
off.
something that causes
No.
it to break.
I've
All
given
right.
my answer.
Lacey
No.
says no.
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 will stay intact.
All right. John, what do you think? Staying intact or breaking into...
I think it's staying intact, but after he dies, it'll be some kind of like relic, or it'll get lost or fall into some lava, and that'll be the end of like Kylo Ren. I don't know, but I don't think it's going to shatter like Lacey said. I'm with her on that. No elevator tantrums in episode 9.
That scene is so cool. I wish I could have been there to see that scene happen.
You know what's funny though is like
Why
think
are
about
you
that.
looking like that?
You like violence. It's a wild thing.
Think about that in real life though. Like, say, okay, you have something in your hand, you smash it up against the elevator, and you're angry, and then when you walk out, you realize that all of your pieces are in a neat little pile right in the middle.
The perfect little yeah. Do you think maybe he tidied
don't
up
know
the
how that
elevator with the
happened.
Force so that the janitors didn't have to work too hard?
Yeah, because he's a nice guy. You know, there's still good in him.
Right. He's conflicted. He likes to be a little tidy but messy at the same time.
I tend to think that it's probably going to stay intact because they did break it in the last one. Although I think that this, like I said before, would be a great way to reveal his face in the movie. So he's wearing this thing a lot, and then for whatever reason, it breaks. Even though we've seen him, I guess, like with it off and still intact. But yeah, but I would like to see it break. So I'm going to say it's going to break. That's why.
Okay.
All right. The next Will of the Force question is coming from our birth certificate
Confirmed.
named person, confirmed person. This one's from Turd Ferguson. Interestingly enough, Turd was actually
Turd.
a member, or he participated in Celebrity Jeopardy a few years back.
Right.
So I was excited to hear that. We had a little talk about what it was like to meet Alex Trebek. Anyway, will Kylo Ren use parts from the Vader mask when repairing his helmet? So this is funny because I didn't realize that this question was here when I asked the last one, but I'm going to ask John first. Kylo Ren mask related question.
No, he won't. I don't think there needs to be much explanation there either. I think it's just the Vader is its own entity and its own historic artifact, and if it just seems like he's putting together his helmet back with the old pieces and using that fusion stuff to put itself back together. I don't think he's not gonna be like, let me use part of the dome and put that here and from the Vader thing. No, so no Vader mask in Kylo's reforged mask for me.
Lacey, what do you think?
I think he will not do that. He won't use Vader's mask. I think he idolizes Vader so much that why would you then take apart the one thing you have that connects you to that person? Even if it's like, oh, well, I'm putting it into my mask. I
He's
don't
making
think
it
he would
part of
want to.
him.
I think he would just keep it as like a memorial keepsake type thing like he's had. I don't see him taking it apart. So no.
See, here's why though, because it's like IKEA. Like you get to the end and you're like, oh, I'm missing a part, like a puzzle. So he's got this like backstock of Vader's helmet that he can cut out different parts and make it
He's the
fit in.
supreme leader, though. He could just get new parts.
Right.
That's true, but he doesn't. He's still repairing it. Yeah, I 3 for 3, guys. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna disassemble the other helmet. I think we've already seen him like pull it open, and it doesn't look like he's been cutting into it or splitting into it or anything. It still looks like the same helmet.
And it's all burnt up.
So yeah, it wouldn't be any good too. Yeah. He'd have to like remold it, and like why?
It's probably stinky.
Like, melt it down and stinky.
Stinky.
His head was in it.
Palpatine's
when he burned
in it.
Unwashable.
Imagine he starts taking it apart and Palpatine's just like, "That's my home! Like, stop tearing apart my home!"
Like a hermit crab? Is that what you're saying?
Right, yes. Palpatine's temporarily a hermit crab.
All right, well, it happened in both The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. We got to ask, will they go 3 for 3? Will the Force theme be the last thing played before the credits in The Rise of Skywalker? Lacey, this one's all on you. What do you think? Will we hear it again?
Yes, I think that's the way they're going to end the movie, is the big Star Warsy moment with everybody looking into the sunset. Credits. Dun, 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 dun.
John, what do you got? You're shaking your head, so I think I'm going to agree with you.
I know it's will and not hope, but I think they will. But
I think they will.
I think they will because they've just been lazy with that. Like the last, like even dating back to Revenge of the Sith, they did it. So it was the last time they didn't do it in a saga movie. It was Across the Stars in Attack of the Clones. So episode 3 did it, episode 7 did it, episode 8 did it. I think they will. But I hope they don't. I hope they have some kind of new celebration type theme. Because let John Williams go out with a new thing and a new bang. I love the celebration theme that he did when he went back for the special editions for Return of the Jedi. Give me something like that. It's emotional, it's uplifting, it's new. The Force theme, I'm just so tired of it. I hate to say it. I like its variations. I like it in the throne room in A New Hope. That's the Force theme, but it's a different type of version of it. A major or whatever you want to call it. But that sad, like, I'm over it. Over it. So, but they will. They will do it.
No, I say no to this one.
I hope you're right.
For the reason that you want, John, I think they won't. Because when I think John's sitting there and he's going, what's the best endings I've ever had? How did I do it the best? And it's always like, people love the end of A New Hope. People love the end of Phantom Menace, da, 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 or however that goes.
I hate that
off the top of my
actually.
Head. Really?
Yes.
I think it's gained more popularity when people connected it with the sheath.
I think you just did
thing.
Ring of Fire by Johnny Cash.
No, I hear what you're hearing, but that's not. But I definitely think another one
theme.
is the Return of the Jedi thing.
Into a burning ring of fire.
Yeah, stop, John.
All right.
You guys are crazy tonight.
The Return of the Jedi
crazy.
thing, he had a great ending theme, and then he did another great ending theme, and neither one of those relied on the Force theme, so I think that's how they're going to do it. Personally, I think he's going to go
I hope they
new.
do.
Yep. All right, we got another Patreon submission. This one's from Mark Magaha.
Magaha.
I'm bad
Hi,
at
Mark.
names. Mark wanted to know, will the Mandalorian use a jetpack by the end of the first season? And John, this one's coming right back at you. What do you think?
Yep. Because jetpacks are cool, and they have a budget, and it'll be fun to see. And I think it's going to be a fun show, so why not? Yes, he will use a jetpack by the end of season 1.
Lacey jetpack.
Yeah, I think they will, because it's a way they can kind of throw it to Boba Fett without it being Boba Fett. So, jetpack. Blast off into yes.
Have we answered this one before? It sounds very familiar.
No, because actually I thought it was kind of clever because it had never occurred to me. So, Mark, you kind of ruined the scene where he goes into a jetpack for me.
And doesn't fly
now
into
I'm
a barge.
like, yeah. No, I mean, jetpacks are Mandalorian. You know, we've seen Sabine flying in a jetpack, and we've seen stormtroopers who have adopted the Mandalorian technology. That's the first thing, you know, they get these jetpacks and stuff. So I think if you have a show called The Mandalorian, he's probably going to use a jetpack. You got to think he's like cultural, and he's using his culture's weapons and technology. So yeah, you're dead on. I think we're going to get that jetpack. The end of the first season thing's kind of tricky, but I think they're going to lean into it in the first season for sure. Mm-hmm. All right, last one is, will Luke or Leia or both appear on the theatrical poster for the Rise of Skywalker? Lacey, you are first up on this big question. What do you got?
This is tricky. I think this is the hardest one. I will say yes, Leia will. No, Luke won't. And the reason I'm saying Luke won't is because the general audience right now thinks he's dead. Whatever we think isn't the same as the general audience, which knows that he's dead. So why would he be on the poster? So I'm going to say Leia, because everybody knows they're bringing Leia back, and they've been pushing that a lot, how they're bringing her back. So I could see her being a small part of the poster.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Lacey. I think you're exactly right. I can see straight through John. He's looking to see if Alec Guinness is on any of the... he's looking for it. He can't find it. He doesn't see him on there.
What?
John, will Luke or Leia or both appear on the theatrical poster for The Rise of Skywalker?
Neither will.
Neither?
Nope. JJ has made it clear, at least to this point, he's been focusing on all new characters for this generation on all the posters and marketing so far, except that hot toy of Palpatine that's at the top of the D23 poster. So I don't think so. I think he's confident in these characters and where he's at, that he doesn't need them on a poster. I don't think a poster drives people to the theater. I think them knowing that this is the end is enough to get the casual old school Star Wars fans back. So I think you're going to be front and center with our main new characters, and then of course our old droids and Chewbacca and that sort of thing. So Luke and Leia will not be on the theatrical poster, which may have come out a few days ago, but probably not.
Yeah, like I said, I'm with Lacey. I absolutely think, because these posters in recent years have been, you know, like Photoshop vomit, like stick,
hodgepodge, yeah.
Color forms.
Yeah, and I just can't imagine a scenario like Luke. I think they could move him out, but I feel like in a weird way it's kind of the disservice to the concept of the first one was supposed to be Luke, the second one was supposed to be, Han, and then Luke, and then Leia. Yeah. I think that for the scenes that she's in, they want to sell that this is like, you know, Carrie Fisher's last movie and some stuff that goes along with that. And I think when you look back at the posters, you'll see Han real big, you'll see Luke real big, and then the last one you'll see Leia real big. I'm not even guaranteeing that she's going to be real big, but I think that would be the best thing to do. But at least they will put her on.
What if, say it doesn't happen, what if they do like the one-off side things like they did with TFA, where they're like, there's Han with the half split and there's blah, blah, blah. And that's then if they don't put them on there, that's how they tribute the old school people.
I don't know, like in a weird way, I think that's less likely.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely.
Does anyone want to make it interesting?
Oh, jeez.
No.
What?
Bets.
You've lost every bet we've made.
Never tell me the odds.
Oh my gosh. What's your bet, John?
Let them decide in the comments, and we'll pick the best one.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
You don't even have anything.
All right.
Put in the comments what you think we should bet, and we'll pick one of them, and that'll be the bet. So place your bets. Options.
YouTube comments?
Yeah, YouTube comments. Go to our YouTube, put in a comment what you think we should make a bet over about this, and then we'll pick one of them.
All right. Well, that's it for Will of the Force. Lacey, would you like to introduce our second section of the show that we like to call Patreon Podrace?
Yeah, so we have a Patreon page, patreon.com/resistance broadcast. It's a way that you guys can support us outside of, following us on Twitter, liking our videos, commenting, subscribing, everything. This is a way that you can get more content from us that we post at least daily, if not every other day, with new videos and behind the scenes stuff. So one of the benefits of being a general for the Patreon page is the Patreon Podrace. So we initially had the first 4 generals that switch off. We've added a new spot, which is an alternating spot for our additional generals that join. So we're introducing for the first time General Neil Shah. We call him Dr. Neil for his first pod race. And his question was, if you were training with Yoda and you found out your friends were in danger, would you leave like Luke did, or go and help them now, or listen to Yoda and stay and complete your training? So Neil, take it away.
Hey TRB crew, General Neil here. Thanks for the great question. This question is actually very relevant right now. I'm actually training with my master, and to be completely honest, if I was in that predicament, I think I would say my friends and family first. I think that is a little bit more important. Friends and family mean everything to me, but ultimately, I feel like Yoda would have eventually taught me something as a Force Ghost, so that's my thought. But just don't tell my master. I don't want him to really get upset. So.
Awesome job, Neil, for your first pod race.
Woo!
Well done. Very white wall guest appearances. John, what did you think?
Was that our first edited pod race?
Mello did the edited one in Spain.
That's right. Yeah, any of the photos and all that.
These guys are up in the ante every week. I gotta say.
Yeah.
I remember Mello did
shoots, edits.
My bad, Mello. Yeah, I remember he did the Naboo scene and stuff like that. I forgot he did the editing and his little tour. But Neil, I laughed at the twist ending to yours. I thought that was funny seeing your son there. So good job to both of you. But I do like your answer, because I think ultimately a lot of us would probably make that choice. You want to listen to the Jedi Master, but really Luke just met him and he just found out that he wasn't just some creepy little vagabond. So I kind of get that answer too. But Neil, you're a joy to be around in our chats, and you've been such a great addition to the TRB family. We can't thank you enough. Can't wait to hang out with you at Celebration, and thanks so much for your support. Look forward to your next round in a couple months. Thanks.
James?
So we were talking a little bit about this as we were watching it before the show, but I think that it makes total sense that people would not go, or they would go to save their friends, just because, I mean, come on, that's just the normal thing to do. But I really think that I would probably stay. And I hate saying that, because you got to think who's in the situation is like your best friends, your family, or something like that. But the one thing that always holds me up about this is that in real life, when it comes to religion, there isn't proof. There's only proof if you believe, right? But in Star Wars, there's straight up proof. Like they use the Force, and they feel it, and they levitate objects, and they have powers. Mm-hmm. And so when somebody says you just got to trust me, it gets crazier, it gets deeper, you just got to trust me, I'd be like, I got to be all in on this. And I've found in a couple senses that it's one of the fundamental flaws of Star Wars, is that when people don't believe in the Force, and I'm like, what are you talking about? You have superheroes as your government. And it's because they're using this thing. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I'd probably go ahead and believe the Jedi Master. Lacey, what do you think?
Neil, great job. We were joking around in our Patreon chat about him doing his first pod race, and him and General Jeremy are always at Batuu, all the time, or Disney or something. So I honestly thought he was going to bring in Kylo, because he had joked that he was going to do it. So I was waiting. But it was much better with his son. Absolutely. I agree. I would totally leave for my friends or family. Despite my tough exterior, I'm a big softie, and I would totally in 2 seconds be like, yep, gotta go, bye, and just leave. So well done, Neil.
Can I admit something?
Sure.
He tricked me because I thought he was really like training with like a karate master or something at first. I'm not even kidding. I fell for it, but there you go.
Nice. It was so well done. Guys, if you want to support us, head over to patreon.com/resistance broadcast. But now we're going to head into a Kessel Run. So I'm going to toss it to John.
All right, guys, this is the Kessel Run.
You've never heard of the Millennium Falcon? It's a ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs.
And this week, 12 things that won't happen in Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. So strap in and get ready to go on the Kessel Run. This is our segment where we put together a list of 12 things about a specific topic in Star Wars. So if you're new to TRB, now you're up to date on what the Kessel Run is. So, Star Wars fans were always making guesses about things that are going to happen in upcoming movies or shows. But James came up with this idea. What if we guessed things that will not happen in The Rise of Skywalker to kind of change the pace? Because everyone's always calling their shots. This is going to happen. This person's going to show up. This is going to go down. That's going to happen. We're going to flip the script and pick 12 things we think are not going to happen in the movie. So, guys, who wants to start it off?
No freebies.
What's
So
that?
I'm going to
like,
start because
Indiana Jones won't show up, you know?
No,
Yeah.
no obvious ones. Like Beavis and Butthead aren't going to be in episode 9. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
An Applebee's commercial.
Right.
Lacey, are you starting?
Yeah, because I don't think either of you thought I would. So
Oh,
That's
I'm
true.
gonna start.
Lacey usually likes going last.
I do. Okay, so my first one is I don't think Luke Skywalker is going to show up in human form. Now, this rumor / leak / idea has been around the interwebs for several months now, especially because Mark has been talking about how he's in it. I just don't think that will translate well with anybody that's not a huge Star Wars fan. And I also don't think it adds to the story to have him be in human form because his story has been told. It's not his story anymore. It's Rey's story and all her friends and those characters' stories. So I think if you were to bring him back, which I keep seeing people being like, oh, he can come back and take on a human form based on this comic back this time in this series. I just don't think it adds to the story. Like, it's just going to make it about Luke Skywalker, and Luke has had his time. And it's time for Rey to be the hero. And I think he's going to be there to help guide her, but I don't see the point in having him come back in human form. It's just going to be so confusing. It's confusing to me, and I kind of get those like weird Star Wars-y things that we talk about all the time. So, yes.
Can I ask you one question?
Sure, go for it.
And you stand by that with the only photo of Luke Skywalker in The Rise of Skywalker that's been revealed is him not as a Force ghost.
Okay, let me preference that. So, if it's a flashback, that's different. I'm saying like he's dead now. He's not coming back and being a human again.
In the modern point.
In
right
the modern,
now.
like
Yeah.
right now, past his death. I think if it's a flashback, then yes, sure. So yes, thank you for bringing that up. That is the clarification. It is literally he's gone. Yes.
All right, number 12.
I think even based on Mark Hamill's statements, he's almost like, yeah, I get to come back because Star Wars lets you come back when you're dead. So almost he's just like, yeah, I get to come back and do a little bow sort of thing. But
right.
So yeah, I think that's a good pick. James, you or me? I'll go. You want me to go? Do you want to go?
You know what? Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right.
I was
Okay.
going to say, I'll let you go last this time because I think I went last time.
All right. I will go and I will say the Millennium Falcon being destroyed will not happen in The Rise of Skywalker. I feel like I had to bring this up because a lot of people in The Force Awakens, they saw when Rey flies through the Star Destroyer in Jakku, it looks like there's fire behind the Falcon. In that one shot, people think that, oh, the Falcon's blowing up there. In TLJ, when Chewie's flying it at some point, people are like, oh, the Falcon, that's where it gets destroyed. Chewie, he doesn't have Han anymore. He's going to go out in a blaze of glory. Here we are again, episode 9. There's little clips here. Oh, there's Chewie and Lando. They're going to go out in a blaze of glory and for everybody, and the Falcon's going to get destroyed. That'll be it. The Falcon's not getting destroyed in Episode 9. It's parked at every galaxy's edge. It is a staple in Star Wars that doesn't age. I mean, it looks like crap sometimes. It's going to be there forever if they continue this story. The Falcon ain't going anywhere. Stop fooling yourselves. Stop trying to kill the Falcon. The Falcon is not being destroyed in Episode 9, guys.
I mean, I agree with that. And it definitely needs to be on the list because I know that there are people that out there that are saying that. I think for me, it kind of is on the border of like a obviously, come on, we know that's not going to happen. But you're right. People have been saying that, and, in a way, I think it's just another like, oh, we can't kill any of the characters because we'll get crap for that. So we will kill a character. You know what I mean? And it's like, I just don't think that's the mindset of the writers. I just don't think that's what they want to do. They want to keep the spirit of Star Wars alive. So you keep those types of characters, R2-D2, C-3PO, and stuff like that, alive. Hopefully we all learn the impression that those characters are also sticking around. But my turn?
Yep.
We're doing number 10?
Yep.
All right.
That's 12, 11, 10. Yep.
Yeah. I am going to go with... should I do a doozy or go light and save the doozies?
How about a loozy? A little bit in between.
A little loozy. All right. The loozy, then I'll go and I'll do Tatooine.
So Tatooine won't be in the movie, is what you're saying?
Really?
Ooh, that's a bold. That's a bold. A lot of people think it is. Okay, explain. Well, why do you think it's not going to show up?
Because I don't know. I guess my thoughts are I started with going, okay, Tatooine. And then I thought, actually, probably let's do this. Let's go crazier. Any prequel planet. And then I was like, nah, I don't know if I want to go that bold because I think if they were going to visit a planet from the prequels, they would probably visit Coruscant. And I understand that Tatooine is from both the original trilogy and the prequels, but I still, in some ways, I feel like it's not important that we visit that location. Like they might say its name, or they might talk about Anakin Skywalker when he was a child or something like that. But I don't necessarily think there's any reason for somebody to step foot on that planet and show it in the film. It's kind of a sidestep where they could just say the name of it and we all know what they're talking about if they really wanted to make a reference or some sort of key point relating to that planet. We don't need to go there. So I say we're not getting it. All new.
Lacey, no Tatooine?
Asana.
It's tough because at first my gut reaction was like, what? Of course they are. What? But hearing you talk about it, I mean, it's reasonable that they could not go and just mention it. I still think they're gonna go there because that's where this all started. So it's kind of like that bookend, like bringing it back to the beginning.
Ooh, I like bookends.
I know. Bringing it back to the beginning. So I think it makes sense that
I think
would
it's
go there at some
a
point.
bold choice. So good pick, James.
Yeah. Continuing on bold choices.
Ooh.
I don't think Anakin's going to show up in The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, hearts breaking all over.
I know, and I'm so sorry to the people that just yelled out in unison.
1,000 voices were suddenly silenced.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
more than 1,000, hopefully.
Here's the thing.
It says, I don't know what he says.
Here's the thing. Anakin is supposedly speaking to Kylo through this mask. Supposedly. That's what he thinks. He's being dumb, but that's what he thinks. If Anakin was going to be in it, we would have heard his voice. We would have seen him already. There would have been something about him shown. So we're going now into the third movie of a trilogy where we haven't heard from him or seen him except for this old mask, which at the end of Return of the Jedi, his story had been closed in the most perfect, wonderful, not just Star Wars way, but like cinematic movie way of any story is completed. So why would you bring him back? Now people are going to say Force Ghost. if he was a Force ghost, and he, gets his redemption in the end in the Return of the Jedi. I keep saying the Return of the Jedi. If he gets his redemption and everything is great, which it is at the end of that movie, and you see his Force ghost, if you were to see it again, why hasn't he spoken to Kylo yet? He sees Kylo going down this path similar to his own that he regrets in the end. Why wouldn't he step in and say something? Why wouldn't he step in and say something to Luke?
Yeah.
Because, and I've been watching Casper because it's around Halloween.
Oh,
Homeboy
geez.
has no unfinished business. Therefore, he will not be back in this movie.
All right, Casper's canon. I think I don't want him to show up for the reasons you just said about
And I think it takes away from the story too. That's another part, but I just said that with my previous statement with Luke.
Right.
I feel like, again, we keep going back to this, guys. Like, these characters are the new characters. They're the heroes of the story. They're finishing out this whole saga.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you keep bringing back these people that have already told their stories?
Yeah.
It's about Rey.
Yeah.
So why would we bring back these guys that are people like, oh, bring back Vader?
All right. Yeah.
Makes no sense.
His story end was too perfect for me. And like you say, if he comes back in just a cameo, then why even bring him back at all? And then
why hasn't he been there yet?
And if you bring him back in a big way, like you said about Luke, he overshadows the heroes. It's like, we're bringing that guy back? So it's like when they bring back Michael Jordan to a basketball team, they're like, that's all people care about. He's back. Like, you don't want that happening. So that's a bold pick. I hope you're right, but I have this weird feeling that JJ calls
It just
Hayden
seems like
up
a cop out. It's it's like too fan servicey for me. Like they're like,
all right,
let's throw Hayden in there.
Let's continue the theme of this bloodline, and I'm gonna give a pick that's gonna really tick people off, but I'll play the role of the villain. Let's go. Star Wars has a villain problem? Not anymore, babe. Here we go. Kylo Ren / Ben Solo surviving the movie. This will not happen. I think this character needs to die in order for this story to be completed. This is the end of the Skywalker saga, meaning we're not going to be seeing Skywalkers in future stories. I don't see how this character survives and wouldn't live in some sort of prisoned exile. Adam Driver, I believe, is completely done with Star Wars. Everything to me points to this character dying. Now, that doesn't mean he won't be redeemed or martyred or something there. I'm not talking about his story. I'm just talking about the character surviving the movie. Won't happen.
You said he needs to die. In my head, my gut reaction was, you need to die.
And there we go.
That's why.
I obviously don't mean it, but that was my gut. Like,
Yeah.
Anyway.
We've kind of been on the same page, John. Me and you on this one.
Yeah.
I have said it in numerous podcasts before, but like that was my whole mindset going into that third Batman movie. And I said this character, in order to tell this story and to tell it properly, they have to kill him. Like that's what is the best possible solution.
Bane died.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about Batman.
The hero?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I was so happy in the movie when they were doing that and they were going forward with that storyline. I was like, I get it. This is exactly where it needs to go. And I actually felt a little disappointed when they kind of copped out at the end and they were like, oh, but they still are. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, you kind of took it away. Like the whole this whole arc is about leading to that death. And if you cop out of that, then it's like, okay, it's not as good. It's okay, kind of thing. But we'll see. I'm sure they'll do it in a good way if they don't do that. But yeah, I think I'm with you on that one. In particular, John.
The one thing I just hope they don't do is leave it ominous, where fans just tear each other apart and they're like, "He died! No, he didn't! He died!" I'll be walking to that theater like, I can't believe he died, but he died and they did it. And then someone's gonna be like, "What? He didn't die?" And then it's just like, see ya, pals. I gotta go. I'm gonna go to Disney Plus and watch Kenobi. But anyway,
Yeah, I saw another thing recently where it was like, I was like, oh man, well that little quote or whatever like kind of closes the door on some stuff. And then like the first thing I saw on Twitter was like, I was right.
Confirmed.
Like,
yeah. Right.
What?
Yeah.
I was like, all right, no, all right, yeah, maybe you
The
see it that way.
Rorschach test. All right.
Yeah. All right. My next one is going to be a new lightsaber color.
Oh, new lightsaber color will not
that
happen.
we won't see it.
Yeah.
We will not see a orange or a pink or a gold.
So no pink
or
and sparkly
something.
lightsaber.
Yeah, no pink and sparkly Daisy.
Sorry, Daisy.
Ain't happening. I was where I started with this is we won't see Rey have a new lightsaber, but I feel like that gets real like tricky over like, well, this is a new version of the lightsaber. You know what I mean? I feel like that gets kind of tricky. So what I wanted to come up with was you're not going to see anything new. And I also do mean new as in like new to the movies. So a white color would be new.
Okay.
And I would be wrong.
Yellow?
Even though we've seen white. Yeah, yellow would be wrong as well.
Okay.
So because I think for and we say this all the time, the average fan, they would be like, oh, that's a new color, a new lightsaber color. And yeah, so I would consider that a wrong answer on my part, even though I'd be like, well, actually, it's in Clone Wars.
So for your just to establish you real quick, sorry, Lacey. Blue, red, green,
purple.
And all right,
are off the table.
okay.
I think those are the only
Oh
colors
no,
we've
are
seen
on
in
the
movies.
table. Those are the only ones you say we'll see.
Well, I'm saying, yeah.
Okay.
However you want to look at it. I think that there's no way we see another color besides one of those four.
Lacey, no new lightsaber colors?
Yeah, it's pretty standard. I think we are gonna see one, but I understand what you're saying.
You think we are going to see like a white that we've seen before, or like a pink that we haven't seen? Not
think-
necessarily those colors, but on those varieties.
Have we seen yellow?
Well, we've seen
Animated.
yellow in the Temple Guards. Yeah.
I think Rey's gonna have a yellow lightsaber. I would love to
That's
see
a tricky one.
Hmm.
That's a tricky one.
That is tricky.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
Speaking of Rey,
All right.
So we are at the halfway point, by the way. We're kicking off the second half of the Kessel Run on our way to deliver the coaxium of goodness to your earbuds.
Oh, my next two are dizzies.
so my next one, speaking of Rey, is I don't think we'll see Rey killing Kylo Ren or Ben Solo in this movie. I think I've seen a lot of
But he
people
might
being
die.
like, oh, Rey's going to stab Kylo Ren or Rey's going to be the one to kill him. From what we know of Rey and the connection she has with Ben Solo, there is no way she is the one that's going to kill him. Someone else could kill him. And I didn't want to get into the argument with John that he's going to live because we all know he is.
No.
But
It's
if
on the
he
list.
does-
Somebody else might kill him, but he's going to live.
if he does die, it's not going to be at the hand of Rey. I think from what we've learned in the movies and also in the novelizations from The Last Jedi, she basically comes to the realization of when she's looking at him in the throne room when he's still passed out, is like the Force is going to take care of him in the way it wants to. And that's not her choice to make. So I think that's also going to carry over here. And we've learned from the comics this week with, or not comics, the new books coming out, the excerpt with Leia, where she's like, Ben has made his choices. I think that's basically saying like, it's on him. And I think because of that, we're not going to see Rey do it, because you don't want to see Rey take that step into killing someone. I think it's got to be someone that's evil that's going to kill him,
Interesting.
or killing by happenstance, like he kills himself or something like that. It's not going to be Rey.
All right. Yeah.
John, do you agree with that? Because I will say, I think you're right, Lacey, and I totally understand where you're coming from. But I have had this like theory in my head of how it could go, and I would be totally happy if that's the way that it goes. And it does involve Rey like pulling the trigger.
Yeah, we've tossed around that type of thing before, where he's gonna like thank her for doing it, where he's too far gone, or that type of thing where she hits the button and the lightsaber goes through him, and they're close up, like a Game of Thrones. Spoiler alert. But
could you imagine if it was like played out the same way?
Yeah.
That'd be too much.
People like rewrite it. No, I mean, Lacey, you're probably right. Just trying to think of like what JD's gonna do there,
because that's not the Jedi way. Like, we've learned that.
I'll say this: this isn't one of the most far-reach choices on the list. So I think this has likelihood here. So, and you made your points, and we'll see what goes down. Yeah. James, did you have anything else you wanted to add to that, or?
Nope.
All right. Next. Because I kind of 10, 9.
Good stance though.
Yeah.
I like that. I think you could be right.
I don't know. We're on number 7, 8.
I've done 3.
Yes. We are number 8. And my pick is Matt Smith will not be in the movie. So things that will not happen, Matt Smith being in the movie won't happen. Yep, I said it. I don't care. If he is in the movie, whatever. I'm just so over Matt
Smith.
I'm so over Matt Smith. Matt Smith is going to play James's can of soda that he just drank. I am so Matt Smithed out. I can't even take it. So whether he winds up being Babu Frick or he plays Palpatine's robe, or he plays Palpatine's clone, or he plays a lightsaber hilt, I don't care. I'm just saying it right now for my own peace of mind. Matt Smith not going to be in episode 9. James?
I think you're on like some sort of forum where people talk about Matt Smith more than what I see. Because you're like, I can't stand it. And I'm like, I barely see it. Every once in a while, somebody will pop in with some sort of like, hey, do we think maybe this is how Matt Smith is connected? But it's like, it's rare in my opinion, but it seems to me like you are looking at them like a whole subgroup of people that are like Matt Smith fans that are like standing by him.
I definitely exaggerate it for the sake of the podcast and Twitter and stuff. Like, I don't care as much as I'm saying right now, but because of that whole like, is he not? Did he accidentally reveal it? People cooked up so many theories from him being Palpatine to him being all these different things, and it's just like, I'm so tired of it. It's like when people say Sebastian Stan should play young Luke. I'm like, you're the 5 billionth person to come up with that. Congratulations.
Yeah. The thing about Matt Smith, we've talked about it before. There was a notable article that said he had a key role in the movie.
Yeah.
And then from there, we're like, all right, well, we're going to trust that. And then we just kind of like haven't seen him come up. And then he was asked about it, and he kind of like gave a non-answer, which is like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm in the film or not.
Let me ask you two real quick.
What is that?
Yes or no? Do you think he's in the movie? Yes or no?
Do I?
Both of you.
I think yes.
You think he is? All right, you're both wrong.
I think he is because
is that our
like
bet,
the
John?
smoking.
No. We already decided what we're betting on.
Hold on. Is that our bet for the movie? Is he in the movie or not?
We're not doing 2 bets in one episode.
But this is for when the movie comes out.
What was our other bet again? I don't even remember.
You've been so on this. Like, I think we need to bet this because you're so positive he's not.
I'm not doing 2 bets in one episode.
Then erase the other bet and make this the bet.
No, I want the poster bet.
They already commented.
Yeah. They already left comments.
Leave a comment if you want the Matt Smith bet.
So you both leave a comment if you think he's in the movie. How about that? And what he's going to play.
Yeah.
That bet's happening, man.
John, you're doing it to yourself now. That's exactly the comments you don't want to read.
Yeah. That's true. As long as they comment,
next.
that's fine.
Yeah. Again, smoke and fire. I think there's too much smoke for there not to be a fire.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. What do we got here?
It's going to be like a bartender.
Oh, this one. John, he is not going to be happy on this one. And it's funny because we're going to let Lacey talk about it afterwards. But Han Solo.
Han Solo being in the movie is not going to happen?
Nope. I don't know if that's a bold pick or not. My thing is, I want it to happen. I think that would be great. But I mean, and they're super secretive about stuff, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm going to be like, we haven't seen any reports on Harrison Ford doing anything, you know? I don't think that's part of it. I honestly just kind of think this character doesn't really have a way to show up unless they really want to go full-fledged on like flashbacks and stuff. I think that JJ has said like he is open to the idea of some of the stuff that Ryan was doing, which involved a flashback. So maybe that means he's going to go heavy on the flashbacks, but I don't know. Like, here's the thing is like, I feel like if I walked out of the movie and Han Solo was never in it, I wouldn't be like, no Han Solo. Seriously? You know, I feel like they could tell a very good ending and wrap this whole thing up.
All right.
And Han Solo doesn't have to be part of it, you know? And I don't think Harrison Ford necessarily is looking to come back either. But yeah, I just kind of got this feeling, no Han Solo. And that's a bummer because I'd like to see him.
Yeah, it's tough because I don't really, without flashbacks, I don't know how he would fit into the movie. So
Yeah,
I
it's like you can't.
imagine flashbacks with, you know, the three, Han, Luke, Leia. But then that goes completely against what I've said for the first two of this countdown, which was that I think that they're focusing on the new characters and not the old characters. And that moment would steal away from the newer characters.
You're going to get the scene with Leia holding the medal.
And that's the callback to Han. Yeah,
and that's
I could
the
totally see
callback.
that.
That's
Yeah.
Han Solo. That's his moment. But Han Solo does not show up in the movie.
What if that scene is in the flashback
I think she finds that on the ship.
and he gives it to her right before he leaves to go confront?
No, I think she finds it on the Millennium
Maybe.
Falcon.
I just think he's going to come back, but it's not my place to talk because that's what we do on the Kessel Run.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's good. Yeah. And you said you want him to come back again.
It's the last
Thursday.
My thing is, this is the last chance. This is it.
Yep.
So that's why I think it'll happen. But who knows?
Yeah.
We've talked about that. But Lacey, your final pick on the Kessel Run. What do you got?
My final pick is similar to John's Matt Smith thing. This is probably the one thing that bothers me about leaks and rumors, and that's why it is my last pick, because I just wanted to wait and get all the other ones out of the way. Rey is not a clone. So Rey will not be a clone. There are no clones.
We're going to have a Star Wars war, Lacey, on the merits of clones in Rise of
James,
Skywalker.
I hear your ideas about it and why you think it's cool. I just think that takes away from who Rey is. And I know you're completely 180 degrees on the other side of that fence, and I get it.
Yeah.
But
Lacey,
she's not a clone.
For the sake of our audience, is this also... there isn't a clone of Rey out there? Does that fall into this as well?
Yes.
Okay. So
like Rey is not a clone. There are no other Reys.
Okay.
It's just Rey.
Okay.
Rey is Rey.
I love that pick because I hope that's not the case.
Yes.
I hope she's not a clone. I hope there's not a clone of her. I am cloned out. The clone store has closed for me.
I just feel like it's a cop-out excuse for a lot of fans to explain something that they don't understand. That they're just like, oh, well, clearly that's a clone of Palpatine's hand.
Yeah, it's
clear that's a clone of so-and-so.
Right.
Oh, clearly she's a clone of Luke. And look, if it ends up to be that, I will eat my words. I will totally be like, you know what? I'm an idiot.
Right.
And I'll own up to it. But it's just, it seems like sloppy writing to me. And it seems like one of those like, it was all a dream,
right.
or, oh, we're going back in time. It's like, it doesn't make sense in the story that she would be a clone.
The beauty of sci-fi storytelling, you just make something up to make it work. Be like,
and again,
the transponder.
I understand where James comes from when he says, oh, that doesn't take away because she's different from the other clones. I just like the idea that she's a no one that went on to do extraordinary things. And that's what connected me with Luke. So the idea that she's one
But
of
Luke
however
was somebody.
many. No, but I'm saying in the sense of like
you don't get to speak on
there's
this.
only
buddy.
one.
I know.
There's only one Luke, so I like the idea that there's only one Rey, and it puts an emphasis on us as individuals in our world and any world have the right and the ability to make the right choices.
Yes.
And that there aren't other copies of us making choices and making decisions and a backup version. It's like you have to focus on what you're doing and decide to make the right choices because there's only one of you.
Right.
And
Like-
that's why.
Like if there were 3 Lukes in the original trilogy, you'd be like, eh.
I just think it's too much.
I
And
agree. I well
it
put.
would confuse me, and I don't think the general audience would be like, wait, what?
Rey is a clone, or there's a clone of Rey not happening in the Rise of Skywalker. It is on the Kessel Run. And now my last pick. Gonna lose a lot of followers on Twitter, I'm sure.
Oh my God. We're going with the doozies now, right?
This is the haymaker. That if I
Yours might be worse than
if I
my
just simply
doozy, too.
tweeted this out, I would get dragged and all that stuff. But I'm on my podcast. This is my safe space, so eat it. Reylo is not going to happen. There's not going to be any romantic kiss. They will not kiss. There will be no physical romance between Rey or Kylo Ren in The Rise of Skywalker. There may be camaraderie, and you may want to redefine what you think Reylo is to help you feel better after the movie comes out, which is cool. But Reylo as a physical, romantic relationship is going to reside right there if you're watching with your action figures and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
They are not kissing in The Rise of
weird mock-up
Skywalker.
fan fiction.
They're also terribly sized.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
James, Reylo's not happening
that's
in The Rise of
illegal. I
Skywalker.
think. What?
Reylo, physical romance, kissing,
Can we
not
also
happening.
1 second? Can we just say that I brought up clones and James can't talk about it, and then you brought up Reylo and I can't
Yeah.
talk about it? That's
I was thinking that when he
hilarious.
was bringing it up. I was
Yeah.
like,
That's fine.
Do I think this is gonna happen? No, but gosh, like it's so hard to kind of put that down, considering they've worked really hard to prove to us that there is a relationship between these two. You know what I mean? So when I hear those words, I think of you could say so many things that totally apply to the situation, and if you want, you could twist those things. Like I love my sister. I really care for her. I have a great relationship with my sister. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, because of the context there, you're like, oh, I know what he means. I know what he's trying to say. But somebody could totally twist all those words and it means something completely different, right?
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think that there is a relationship, and I definitely think they've been pushing to establish a connection between these two characters, and how we want to dive into that. We want to figure out what that relationship is and how they work together.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that relationship is romantic.
I agree.
And that's the connection that some fans have and could easily fall into. I understand.
Sure.
I understand how someone could think that.
Yeah, like
I think it's a misstep.
Yeah.
Like I think you're missing the point. I don't think that's where they're going with it, but I can't prove it either, you know?
Yeah, I don't ever hear people like when they initially first started saying like, oh, they may have feelings for each other. I'm like, that's way out of left field. Like, no, like I could see that point of view for sure, without a doubt. I'm just saying I don't think it's going to happen, and that's just my take. That's all. I think there is that forced connection, that relationship. I think she may still try to pull him back, and he may still try to pull her to the dark side. There still will be that connection there. They already said they're going to explore that, but I don't think that is going to lead to romance between these two in this movie. And that's it. So no Kylo Ren and Rey kissing or physical romance in The Rise of Skywalker. It's on the Kessel Run. So there you go. James?
So it has to be true.
Yeah.
It's on the Kessel
So
Run,
James
it has to be
beat
true.
that for hot take.
Kissing. No, I think yours might be crazier than mine. Although I think that people can be a little extreme when it comes to the Reylo thing, but the one that I'm going to say now, I think, is going to disappoint a lot of people if it isn't there, and I don't think it is going to be there. You guys ready for this? Because John and Lacey don't know. Rey's parents will not be in this movie. I don't know if that's a bombshell or not, but I feel like there's something there that says, that question that we set up in the first one and the second one, and there's no way we can't not address it and show you the truth about her parentage. I don't think they're gonna do it. We're gonna know what the answer is, but we're not seeing her parents. There's no reveal with Zori Bliss.
Mm-hmm.
There's no flashback where they show her drunken parents leaving again.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think we ever are going to know not ever, but like within the context of the movie, we're not going to know what her parents look like or what they were doing. Okay. It's just going to be left on the table as what Rian Johnson did, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they're going to show her who her parents. I don't think it matters at this point in the story. I think they've answered the question of who they are, which is no one. So I think this movie is going to be all about she's touched on her past, she's dealt with it. How is she moving forward? And I think that's the point of this movie. And they might answer like how she got to Jakku, but if she doesn't know who her parents are, it doesn't necessarily mean we need to know.
I would like to know how she got to Jakku. I have to admit that.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I don't think you need to know her parents and how she got there.
Yeah, I agree. Cool. All right. Guys, that is the Kessel Run. So let me run it down. Things that we are saying here on our fun little segment called the Kessel Run that will not happen in the Rise of Skywalker. Luke Skywalker in human form. The Millennium Falcon being destroyed. The planet Tatooine. Anakin showing up. Kylo Ren / Ben Solo surviving. A new lightsaber color that we haven't seen in the movies yet. Rey killing Kylo Ren.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Smith in the movie. A Han Solo cameo. Rey is a clone, or there's a clone of Rey. Reylo, in terms of a romance. And Rey's parents. Those 12 things will not happen in The Rise of Skywalker. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching to that. I want you to let us know in the comments, of course, what you think won't happen and what you think of our list. If you agree, disagree, load up the comments, keep the conversation going. We have some great discussions right under our episodes. And I believe you can leave comments on a lot of different platforms. And of course, always hit us up at RBATSWNN on Twitter. And let's keep that discussion going. But like we said, we wanted to have a fun time with this. We're all always talking about what's going to happen. So we figured let's flip the script here at TRB and have some fun saying things that won't happen. But now what is going to happen is we're going to hear from you right now in Resistance Transmission. So, Lacey, what's going on?
So that was pretty painful to not answer you. So I can't wait for that episode to come where we actually have our Reylo conversation, because it's been building for like a year and a half. Like, to really have the conversation.
Sure. I mean, we can talk about it now if you want.
No, I'm going to do the Resistance Transmissions.
Okay, because I don't think you think it's going to happen either, but we'll talk about that another time.
What, the convo?
No, I don't. I think you don't think it's going to happen either.
The romantic thing.
Oh, okay. I'm not saying you're the only one. I'm just saying I disagree with you, and it was painful to sit there and not answer.
Oh, so you do think it's going to happen?
Yeah.
All right.
But I digress. So.
Interesting.
Resistance Transmissions.
Yes.
So here's how it works. Every week, John puts up a crazy, wacky situation. and you guys give your answers. So this situation this week is we're saying goodbye to the Skywalkers in 3 months with the Rise of Skywalker. I've noticed, John, you've been writing that a lot in your little descriptions, like polls and stuff. You're like, in 3 months, in 3 months.
Now it's 2 months.
Yeah, fair. What would you write them? What would you write to them in a farewell card? Oh, and by the way, I haven't read these, so if I'm a little choppy, that's why.
Choppy.
First is Blog of the Hut at Blog of the Hut, and he said, "We love you more than 20,000."
Sounds like
That's the midichlorian count. Right?
midichlorian / Avengers reference, I guess. A little tie-in.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Next is Sean at The Rise of Ryer. And Sean said, "We'll always be with you. No one's ever really gone."
I would think that's what's
What was that noise?
like. That is probably what's
It was
written,
a ferret passing
like
by.
what's printed in the card. Like that's
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Next is Star Wars Dude 65 at Star Wars Dude 65. John?
I mean, that's not his name.
That's not his name.
Yeah.
You also
guys-
missed one on last episode on Monday.
Did I? Was it James Baney?
Yes, straight up somebody's name was
Oh.
at their name.
I'm sorry.
Well,
We
Star
didn't say
Wars
anything.
Dude, way to get your handle. 65.
Yeah.
He didn't get his handle. His name's probably like Mike Smith. Matt Smith.
All right. All right. He said farewell again until episode 10.
Yeah.
Next is Da Kind of Vacans at da_kind_awakens. And he said, "Dear Skywalkers, thank you for defeating Emperor Palpatine twice, and for good this time. Farewell. I'll miss you all, but let's be honest, I'll see you when Emperor Palpatine returns."
Oh.
Just never goes away.
Never.
Next
Essence.
is Rebels
goes
at
away.
Rebels Pod. And they said, "Let's give a hand to the best family in Star Wars."
Hey-o!
And they included screenshots of all the times they've lost their hands.
Yes.
I hate you.
And to be fair, 3 of the times it's Anakin. Anakin had trouble with his limbs.
Yeah. Next is Carl Stare. It's Stare, right? That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At Darth Hurricane, hi Carl. He wrote, "Dear Skywalkers, there isn't enough room in this card to express everything that you have done for me. From my aunt on Alderaan, my parents on Lothal.
Lethal.
Laughable.
Lathal. My
Yaddle.
cousin on the first Death Star, and to my brother on in the second. I am now the only one left to collect my grandmother's inheritance. Thanks.
That's clever. I like that one.
You've killed everyone."
Yeah.
I mean, seriously,
Thanks
they're
a
the most
lot.
dramatic family ever.
Big
They've
time.
like done nothing but cause trouble. And last but not least is Craig at X-Wing Xing. And he said, "Hey, Skywalker family, thanks for the shit show. Sincerely, the entire GD galaxy." I couldn't agree more. And James,
Yeah, you just said it like right before that.
enjoy bleeping that out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So make
I'll
note.
see if I remember.
Mm-hmm. I think
I
you're
kinda
allowed.
wanna say it again.
You're
So-
allowed 1, right?
I don't know.
No.
Just being polite. Anyway, that's it, guys. If you want to be on the show, make sure to follow us on Twitter at RBATSWNN. And then make sure to keep watch. And Johnny here will put up a situation for you to answer.
Mm-hmm.
And then the best answers get on the show. Thank you for your answers. I appreciate it. Back to you, John.
Guys, thank you so much for watching or listening. However you're taking in the episode, we appreciate it. I'm sure most of you are already subscribed on some platform, but if not, you can do that on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, Podbean, Stitcher, Google Play, all down the list. And if you need a refresher, head to resistancebroadcast.com, where you can find a list of wherever we're found. And then you can also find our link for our TeePublic store, tpublic.com/user/resistancebroadcast. You can buy some of our logos, Makes a Little Too Happen, Shivi Babes, Gary the Porg, a lot of cool designs on there, most made by James over here. And also make sure you're going to StarWarsNewsNet.com every day for your latest news, reviews, editorials, information, and more. And as Lacey said before, we have a Patreon page. I know a lot of you are signing up and getting on board. We appreciate that so much. It allows us to do 2 episodes every week. We haven't taken a week off in about a year and a half. And also a lot of the additional video content footage we're creating for you guys and going to events and covering that. So we appreciate all the support. Again, patreon.com/resistance broadcast. 5 tiers starting at $2 a month for page access. And then if you bump up to tier 2, which is $5 a month, you can submit topics like you heard earlier in the show in Will of the Force for us to talk about, all the way up to tier 5, which is our generals. As you saw, Neil Shaw doing his Patreon Podrace there with his son. Great job, Neil. And I want to thank you and the rest of our generals, and that is Carmelo, Brian Shalito, Andrew Staley, Neil Lowry, Jeremy Myers, Neil, as I just said, David Probus, John Reese, and Val Trichkov. Thank you all so much for all of your support. I think I covered everything, so you guys can hit me up on Twitter at Johnny Hoey and yell at me about all my picks on the Kessel Run. Let's have a good time. And as always, on StarWarsNewsNet.com. And hopefully seeing a trailer this coming Monday, because I think the 14th would be right on par. So look for an announcement Sunday, hopefully. And if not, if I'm wrong, who cares? James, where can people find you?
Twitter and Instagram at Myra Trunks.
Nice. Short, sweet, to the point. Lacey?
People can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Lacey Gillerin, and reminding you that if it wasn't romantic relationship, Kylo Ren wouldn't have been standing with his shirt off. Ba-da-da.
Had to throw that in, of course. Because when you need to defend something, it's probably not happening. Hey guys, we'll see you on Monday morning. So we hope you enjoy your weekends. And yeah, we're back at it in a few days. So enjoy your time. And we'll see you on Monday with another episode of the Resistance Broadcast. See you around, kids.